Hi, so this is Shari Sanchez, and on behalf of Team One, I'll present as an agile customer, the professional cook. So first is gonna present the iteration changes you have created. So for the first iteration, we have a bit of changes here. So this is the first, the story set, the original stories that we have. A user can register for an account. A user can sign into user account. A user can post a new recipe. A user can browse for recipes. A user can see the resulting list of matching recipes from recipes it's search or browse, and a user can see the details of the recipe. So for the first iteration, we didn't delete anything. But for the second iteration, we changed some of this one. So they retained an administrator can see a list of users. An administrator can access user information and an administrator can access recipes. But I think we changed this a bit. We will see later. And an administrator can see the details of the recipe. This one we deleted it because it is satisfied by the administrator um seeing the recipe and the users. And this one is it is already satisfied by the user that can browse for recipes because uh it's just the same for the user. There's no something special when the user or an administrator search for a recipe. So to remove this one, and we also remove this one because it's just the same with this user story. And a user can see a list of most recent recipes. So we retain this one, and this one we didn't add this because this is just the same for the most recent because we have talked about with my group mates that the top recipe will be based on the date the most recent recipe uploaded. So that's also let's check the this one is the final iteration 2. So you can see that there was this was changed. An administrator can see a list of recipes instead of an administrator can access recipes. So it was written like this, so you would understand it better, and because administrator sees a list, because there are two lists and the detail, and then so we just retain this five. An administrator can see a list of users. An administrator can access user information. An administrator can see a list of recipes. An administrator can see the details of the recipe. A user can see a list of most recent recipes. So for the disaggregated task, just use the same. Um, so we didn't change any for the disaggregated task. What we have already talked about, we already added there. And if there were like additional, it's just like a part of another disaggregated task, so it was not added in the documentation. Okay, so let's check for the progress and changes for all iterations. So I edited it for all the progress monitoring in the past. At first, we thought the story point is the number of disaggregated tasks, but actually, it's not. It's the hours that needed to finish a disaggregated test. So I changed everything. So for iteration one, we got 34 story points at the start. We plan to finish like 19 of these star points, but we only completed 13. So the 6 star points that was not created or finished was added to the iteration 2. So we planned just to do 15 of the star points, but now it was added here at the iteration 2. So at the end of iteration 2, we only did 19 star points and we still have 2 star point backlog. So uh we did an iteration tree, but it's just a week. We just finished this one, and after iteration three, there's no more backlog. So I think we also don't have change estimates and story points from new stories. So I think I have explained every all the iteration changes and the deletion and addition and the considerations that we have to make. Okay, the next one is the burn down chart. So at start, well, there's no stories that was accomplished yet. Then there were 30 story points accomplished here plus 19, so there were 32, and two more was the backlog. So uh, at the end, we finished every story points, and then next is the weekly progress monitoring. So we don't really need to add this one, but just for visualization of what happened. So week 7, nothing was done yet, and then week 8, up to week 8, I think we did like 5 story points, and then week 9 we created 8, and then after that in this week 9 to week 10 we created finished 8 story points, and then week 11 we finished um 7, and week 12 to 11 to top 4, so we still have a backlog of 2 points which was created just this week. Okay, so I'll just show you. This was from March 5 to April 13. So this was the commits that we have done in our GitHub link. Okay, so let's go to the acceptance testing. So for the software release, we just did like 7 story points, but in this video, we will do everything just to show how our software works. So that this is the one. Acceptance test for release 1.0. So first user story is, as a user, I can register for an account so that I can post recipes. So what are the acceptance criteria test? First test is test with inputs. Try typing the wrong email format, not satisfying the given conditions for username and password, or without filling any fields. Not able to register and an error message will appear. That's the expected outcome. And the second test is try typing a username that is already registered and the accepted expected outcome is not able to register and an error message saying that the username already exists. And for the third one, the test input is try typing an email that is already registered and the expected outcome is not able to register and an error message saying that an email already exists. And the fourth one is a test with inputs. Try typing the right format of email and filling all the fields. Expected outcome. Users are registered. So the developers are Daniel, Giuliano, Charmaine, and Albert. So let's go to the demo. So for the demo, it's for registration, right? So let's check. For the first one is try typing the wrong email format, not satisfying the given conditions for username and password or without filling any fields. So first, let's try not to fill any fields. Okay, so when I register an account, I cannot register. So we try just putting that one and see we cannot register. Uh, if we try to like create like the right email, but we don't satisfy some of this one. Let's check. Okay, so it shows an error message that password should have 3 to 20 characters. Okay, the next one is let's check. So the next test is try typing a username that is already registered. The expected outcome is not able to register and an error message saying that the username already exists. So let's try putting Samantha. So this is a username that is already registered. For example, I'll use Samantha, and then um so let's try to register this account. So it shows an error message that username already exists. So the third test is try typing an email that is already registered. Expected outcome, not able to register, and an error message saying that an email already exists. So let's go back to our application. So for example, I'll put and the same email. Sick. Okay, email already exists. So let's go to the next test. So the expected outcome is correct. Try typing the right format of email and filling all the fields. Users are registered. So let's try putting a new email, a new name, and satisfying everything that the condition to register. Okay, so let's try. Oh, I already added Sabrina. Wait, let's try it again. Maybe Sabrina 1. Okay, let's try this one. Okay, now we're registered. So as you can see, after registering, you still need to log in. Okay, next one, the user stories. As a user, I can sign into my account so that I can post, update, and delete my recipe. So first, try typing the incorrect username and password or without filling any fields. Expected outcome, not able to sign in. Next, test with inputs. Try typing the correct username and email and filling all the fields. Expected outcome, user can sign in. Okay, so I just check if I'm connected through my headset. Okay, next. So the first test is try typing the incorrect username and password or without filling any fields. Expected outcome, not able to sign in. So let's log in. Try not putting anything and log in. Okay, says incorrect username. Give that one. Says also. So you can see you cannot register. It says incorrect username and or password because there's nothing we are adding. So next is try typing the correct username and email and filling all the fields so user can sign in. Actually, just username password. Just a typo. Should be password. Okay, so let's try this one. See, I can log in. I'm Sabrina. So the next one is, let's see, user. I can post a new recipe so that I can share it with other users. So the test with inputs, add only 1 to 2 characters for title, description, and ingredients. Expected outcome, recipe will not be posted and an error message will appear. Add title, author, publish, description, ingredients. Recipe will be posted. So the creators of this post page is Giuliano, Albert, and Daniel. So let's go back to the okay, let's click this link and then let's try to put just one character. And when we confirm, it will not be posted and says that title is minimum of 3 characters, description is minimum of 3, ingredients is minimum of 3. So we got an error. So that's a pass. And next one is test with inputs, add title, author, publish, description, ingredients, and recipe will be posted. So for publish, we already our developer already coded that the the date and the username is automatic. So he has done this so that there will be less errors in the posted recipe. So for example, uh, I'll put aglio olio, like kind of pasta, and then let's say pasta cooked in oil or in olive oil. And then ingredients is pasta and olive oil. So let's confirm. So see, it is now in the list. And we can go to see it in the recipe. Next one is, as a user, I can browse for recipes by keywords so that I can learn how to cook recipes based on ingredients I have. So the test with inputs. First is search for ingredients of a recipe that does not exist in the system. Expected outcome, the system will not give a list of recipes and a message that the ingredients cannot be found. Test with inputs. Search for ingredients of a recipe that exists in the system. Expected outcome, the system will give a list of recipes. So let's go. Let's do this first. Okay. The developer is Daniel Julian. Search for ingredients of a recipe that does not exist in the system. So, uh, I don't really know what doesn't exist in the system. So I will just try. So let's go back to the home page and try searching for something that is not. Maybe I'll try a spice that is used in the Philippines. Mm, let's see. Okay, star anise cannot be found. So that is for the test of a recipe, an ingredient that is not found in the system. So search for ingredients of a recipe that exists in the system. So let's try searching for chicken, because search. Okay, let we can see that everyone has a chicken for the ingredients. See, chicken and garlic. Okay, so let's go back to the home page. Next one is a user. As a user, I can see the resulting list of matching recipes for ingredients. I search or browse so that I can check out recipes that have those ingredients. So the first test input is search for ingredients of a recipe that does not exist in the system. The system will prompt a message saying no recipe has this ingredient. So we have seen this a while ago, but for the purpose of showing demo this one, oh, I will do it again. And the developer is Daniel, by the way. And the next is test with input. Search for ingredients of a recipe existing in the system. In the system. Perfect typo. The system will give a list of recipes in the resulting list page. Next, search for ingredients of a recipe existing in the system and the owner of the recipe posted with this ingredient. The system will give a list of recipes in the resulting list page, and an update and delete button will be visible and can be used to edit their post or delete it. Next is search for ingredients of a recipe existing in the system and not the owner of the recipe posted with this ingredient. So the system will give a list of recipes in the resulting list page, and an update and delete button will not be visible. The user can just view the recipe. So I hope you understand my sentence construction here. So first one, let's do this first. Search for ingredients of a recipe that does not exist in the system. So let's try another one. What else do we put? For example, cinnamon. I hope it's not in the system. So it's not in the system. There's a prompt page that's saying it's not in the system. So the next one is search for ingredients of a recipe existing in the system. The system will give a list of recipes in the resulting list page. So let's go back to the home and search for, uh, I guess, egg. So see, there's a list. It's just one though. Okay, so the next one is Search for ingredients of a recipe existing in the system and the owner of the recipe posted with this ingredient. The system will give a list of recipes in the resulting list page, and an update and delete button will be visible and can be used to edit their post or delete it. So I haven't posted yet, so let's try another account that I have here. Okay, let's log in with my account. Home. Okay, so let's try searching for chicken. See, because I'm the owner of the chicken, this chicken escaldo, I can update it. So let's try to update. For example, we got 3 calamansi here and update. We can also reset this one. Okay, and then we can also update. Updated. So that one. The next one is, let's try. Let's do the other one. Search for ingredients of a recipe existing in the system and not the owner of the recipe posted with the ingredient. The system will give a list of recipes in the resulting list page, and not update and delete button will not be visible. The user can just view the recipe. So let me just post um a recipe. Uh, Just pork cooked with soy. So let's say pork and soy. So I haven't demonstrated, but you can delete this one. So I add something again. Um, or cook with tomato paste. Ground pork and tomato paste. So let's confirm. So I'll just demo. I have it demo the delete button for when I search the system and that I own I own that recipe. So I'll just say it again. Search for ingredients of a recipe existing in the system and the owner of the recipe posted with this ingredient. The system will give a list of recipes in the resulting list page, and an update and delete button will be visible and can be used to edit their post or delete it. So, for example, let's choose pork because I used that a while ago. Okay, so I got giniling, adobo, and barbecue. So I want to delete giniling. So it asks me, do I want to delete it? Yeah, I'm sure I want to delete it. Okay, so you can see we don't have it. Okay, next one is search for ingredients of a recipe existing in a system and not the owner of the recipe posted with this ingredient. The system will give a list of recipes in the resulting list page, and an update and delete button will not be visible. The user can just view the recipe. So, for example, I'll search for mm, uh, guess pasta. Okay, see, I did not post this one, so I cannot see update and delete. Okay, let's go to the next user story. So as a user, I can see the detail of the recipes so that I will know how to cook the recipe and what other ingredients I need. So next is test with inputs. The user clicks on the recipe to see the details. Expected outcome. The system will display a page of all the user information about that recipe. Next, test with inputs. User clicks on the recipe to see the details and is the owner of the recipe. The system will display a page with all the information about the recipe, and an update and delete button is visible. The owner can edit or delete the recipe. Next, the test with inputs. User clicks on the recipe to see the details and is not the owner of the recipe. Expected outcome. The system will display a page with all the information about the recipe, and an update and delete button is not visible. The user can just view the recipe. So the developer of this one is Daniel. So let's go and see what we have here. So um so the first one is user clicks on a recipe to see the details. The system will display a page with all the information about that recipe. So let's say we go to the okay, and then uh you see we can see all the details because when we click it. So that's what is the outcome. Next is a user clicks on a recipe to see the details and is the owner of the recipe. So for example, let's go back to the list and then I'm the owner. So because I'm the owner, I can edit this one. I can update it and then update and then see it shows that the ingredients is with the garlic. So I can also delete it. So it asked me first if I want to delete. So said yes. Okay, then I go back to the list. There's no adobo. Cannot see it. Okay, next one. A user clicks on a recipe to see. Okay, I've done that. A user clicks on a recipe to see the details. Is not the owner of the recipe. Expected outcome: the system will display a page with all the information about the recipe. And update and delete button is not visible. The user can just read the recipe. So, for example, this one. Okay, there's no update delete button because that's I didn't do that. Okay, the next one is an administrator. As an administrator, I can see the list of users so that I can remove members that are not following the rules of the app. Okay, so Julian, then you did this test with inputs. User logs in the administrator account and tries to see the list of registered user. Expected outcome: the system will display the list of all registered users. Test with inputs. User logs with a regular account. Try to see the list of registered users. Expected outcome: the system will not have the option to see the list of all registered users. So first, let's test that the user logs in the administrator account and tries to see the list of registered users. So the system should display the list of all registered users. So log out and I'll log in as an administrator. Okay, so I can see recipe list and user list. Um, okay, so you've seen that I see the registered users. I also show the recipe list, but that's not included in this test. So next is user logs with the regular account. Try to see the list of registered users. The system will not have the option to see the list of registered users. So I'll try to log out and log in as my Sabrina. Okay, so Sabrina doesn't have a list of users in his nav bar. So it's because she's not an admin. Next one is next story is an administrator can access user information. So the developers are Mar and Albert. So there's just one test. User log with administrator account clicks on a user from the list of users. The system will display the information of the user and the administrator can delete the user. So for example, I log out and log in again as the admin. Okay, go to user and then this one there's just repeated because before we added the code to prevent mm, the same email and name. We forgot we didn't delete this one, but this should be not this. Okay, so just one, and should just be one. Okay, so let's go back to the testing. So as you can see, let's try. mm, let's just try Albert again. Okay, so Albert, I can see the user and email, but the password. because for security reasons. So I can also delete this user. Okay, yeah, that's the test. Okay, next one. As an administrator, I can see a list of recipes so that I can see the list of recipes matching my search criteria. Okay, so user logs in the administrator account and tries to see the list of recipes. The system will display the list of all recipes and the administrator can delete any recipe. So that's the developer is Charmaine. So let's go to the home. Oh, let's go to the recipe list. It says you can see the list of recipes in that one. So I can delete anything because I'm an admin. I can also delete it from here. So we can delete this one there. Okay, next one is, and as administrator, I can see the details of the recipe of my choice so that I can monitor the recipes uploaded. Test with inputs. User login with administrator account clicks on a user from the list of recipes. The system will display the information of that recipe and can delete the recipe. So the developer is Charmaine. Oh, I'll just check. Okay, this is the second to the last test. So when they and can do okay. Uh, so for example, I click this general show. I can delete it from here. Okay, and now it's deleted. Next one is as a user, I can see a list of most recent recipes so that I can monitor trending new recipes. User clicks to see the list of recipes ordered by post date. The system will display the list of recipes ordered by post date starting from the most recent. So let's see. Oh, we're already here. The admin can also do this. So Daniel was the one who added this code. So you can see that it was sorted the newest, and you can also see all this. So yeah, I did that one. So let's log in as a user if we can also do it because it says user, for example. Oh, I guess I deleted that one. Mm, yeah, just say user for. So when I go to the list of recipes, you can see that I can change it from most recent to oldest. Actually, in the accept the user, it's just say mm, most recent, but you can also like put it in the first date of the the recipe set that was posted uh before. You can start from the oldest or the newest post date. Okay, so that is all for our project. So if you have any more questions about our project, please don't hesitate to contact my group members, Daniel, Giuliano, Albert, Moore, and one. And that's all, I guess. And we will also submit the zip file of our GitHub in this video. Okay, I hope that you have understood my explanation for the all the accepted testing of our project. Thank you and see you. Have a nice day.